Hello, everyone. I don't have anyone on here yet. I'm just going to give it a minute or two and get my paperwork in order so I have all my notes and stuff. Just give me 1 second while you guys come in. I can make sure I have my charger and everything because I forget. Oops. Shoot. Okay. Hello. Just giving it a minute. Hey, Susie Q. It's good to see you, love. How are you? So I wanted to show you guys a spirit box that we did not so long ago, probably about a month ago. So this just kind of gives some legit to what I think it's M.M.O. Tarot that put together. I'm not really sure who did it, but from what I understand, it was MOM or MMO Tarot who put together some clips of possible voices that they were able to put together on, I believe it was like a 40-minute, a 40-second, 40-second clip that they were able to slow down, splice it, and get rid of the dead air in between, okay? I'm not saying that this is fact. I'm not saying that it's, legit. I don't know if it's legit, all right? I'm just saying that possibly this person was able to catch some, it's not an EVP. I mean, these were actual voices that were caught on someone's either Ring doorbell or dash cam or something along those lines from a neighbor. And it's very suspicious. The things that were said, I have a spirit box session from a month ago that's already uploaded to my channel with timestamps. So it just kind of validates what my spirits are saying to what we heard the voices say on that recording that MMO Tarot was able to slice it and get rid of the dead air to put it all together for us. So it's pretty amazing. When I was listening to it, I'm like, I can recognize things that my spirits have been saying 3 months ago and things that my spirits have said about a month ago. Hey, Chloe Jade, it's good to see you, honey. So yeah, I just wanted to work on Sebastian's map with all of you guys. I'm still working on Summer's maps too. I'm still going over. You guys, with Summer, you guys got to be patient with me because I am researching asteroids, and there is thousands and thousands and thousands of asteroids. So I'm looking for the first name of a suspect, and I'm looking for the last name of a suspect. So it's taken me a long time, and I have a list of about 40 people. The list that you guys gave me, that live that we did when we went over all of the suspects. And I spoke to another channel creator the other night, and she gave me like 10 more names to go over. So my list of suspects is constantly growing, but my prime suspects are still Candace and Don. I mean, they're all over the chart. I really can't. Like I said, I hope that the parents are innocent. That's not my job to accuse the parents of being guilty or not. My job is to just basically tell you what these planets mean, the definitions of these planets, and what they can bring forward in a crime. So, you know, it doesn't look good for Don and Candace. One, I think I just showed you guys, I was using the wrong asteroid for Don. For the longest time, I was using Don Prayer, because think about it, like there's an actual asteroid named Don Prayer. Well, I found an asteroid the other day that has his name on it. By the way, happy Father's Day to everyone. If you're a father or you have a father, be sure to remember to wish them a happy Father's Day as well. So, I'm going to show you where Don's asteroid shows up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I was using this asteroid here called Don Prayer, and you know he was showing up on the chart kind of at the bottom of it. Like he was showing up in Virgo, and he was also showing up in Leo on the day the summer went missing. He shows up kind of like dancing in between these houses here, right? So I found an actual asteroid. It's asteroid number 99891, and look at that. It's got his freaking name on it, Don Wells. So, you know, all this time I've been using Don's prayer because thank you, RJ. Are you a dad? RJ? Yeah. Is your AC out? Our AC doesn't work. We have what are they called? Window units. We use them. We live in a really old house. It needs a lot of work. And the house that I live in, we had tenants here that destroyed our house. Like during COVID, they stopped paying rent, and they were living here like basically rent free. She had 9 pit bulls, and she had them like all in cages. And when she would let them out, I guess they would just go crazy, and they like ripped open all of our doors. Like our front door, our back door is all ripped up. Our bedroom doors upstairs, our bathroom doors all ripped up. And like she had locks, like she put locks on the outside of the door. Like I don't get that. Like for the life of me, I'm like, was she keeping people locked in the bedrooms? Like it's just weird. The people that we finally got evicted out of here destroyed our house. So it's a work in progress. We have a lot of work to do. We've replaced, I'm trying to like fix the doors because they're from like the 1790, I believe. Our doors are from. So they got like the old ancient locks on them, you know, like those really old locks. But some of the like panels at the bottom of the door are just like gouged out from their dogs. So yeah, we have a lot of work to do on our house. It's not because like we neglected the house. They messed up our house, and we've been trying to fix it for over a year. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Yeah, that's kind of what ours issue is too. And you're in that heat wave right now, aren't you, RJ? Isn't Tennessee in a heat wave? At least I thought they were having like record heat waves. So Don Wells shows up next to the moon when I use the other asteroid, Don Wells, asteroid number 99891. He's at the 21st degrees in Leo. So yeah. The Sabian symbol for the 21st degrees of Leo basically means somebody running around like a chicken with their head cut off. It also means being intoxicated. So there's an indication of possibly alcohol, and there is an indication of kind of, I would say, this is at 3 o'clock, that someone's in a panic. So if we look, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, that's puts him at the 9th degree. Where he could have had to travel. She's at the 2nd degree, or at this point, I believe, she's being ruled by Venus. See, Venus and Mars do a dance all day. So at one point, summer is Venus, and at another point, summer is Mars. So on this part, at this particular time, that is the open enemy to summer, is at looking at her like a possession. 2nd house. 25th degree would be possibly Grandis, possibly summer. It's a second indication of summer, and it also is Candace. It rules motherhood, matriarchs, family, okay? So, and the 25th degree is common for alcoholism. It is an alcoholic degree, unfortunately. So, I mean, I got signs of Don Wells being under the influence, and I have signs of Mother being under the influence as well. And we know that Algol shows up, who is classic for alcohol. So, yeah, it's not good. The other fixed star location, and this is from Kirsty's book, I want to show you. It means to be cruel, heartless. This is his degree. So he's at 21 degrees. So that's 20 degrees of Leo, and this is 22 degrees of Leo. So he could be represented by these two fixed stars for Don. Cruel, heartless, bold, bombastic, brutish, destructive, artistic appreciation, power of expression, spiritual gifts, leadership. 22nd degree of Leo is the own worst enemy, an unfortunate degree, no freedom to act on one's own behalf. So yeah, I would say that there is some serious panic setting in at 3 o'clock. And we didn't get the 911 call until after 6. So that does make me very suspicious of the Wells. Like I said, I am very suspicious of them. I'm very torn on them. I have been from day one. So I wanted to show you guys this spirit box session. Because my spirits talk about what we heard on that voice recording on, what Justin for All played on his channel last night, and that MMO Tarot channel. The stuff that they were talking about on those clips, guys, our spirits mentioned this about a month ago. So I want to let you hear it. I kind of did timestamps on this video. This is the video. It's this one. Shocking spirit box session, Sebastian Rogers. Spirits mention evidence flushed down the toilet, okay? And this is dated 1 month ago. So, here, we'll play, like, where I can show you guys the my warning, welcome to Juniper's Tarot and all that, and, the, what's it called? Oh, I don't forget what it's called when we have the thingy. I'm trying to turn the volume up. Just shut my curtains. Okay. When will they air the episode of Nancy Grace? I'm not sure. Kimberly, wonderful news. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Sweetly. What was Kimberly's good news? Hello, Juniper. The readings you did for me on Keisland, Roberts, and Georgia at truck stop. Thank you. Nancy Grace had the whole family last week still looking. Oh, wow. That's good news, because she is one that has not gotten any public attention, it seems like to me. And I don't understand that. Okay, let's see if I might need to do it on my cell phone, because I can't get the volume to turn up on my thing. Okay, well, I'm going to pull it up to here, where they talk about a pickup truck was waiting around the corner for Sebastian. And they say, here, they said, they buried something. Wouldn't marry him, don't be mad at him, they executed him. Eventually, he was going to drop Katie. Katie has no family. This is, I kind of have it abbreviated, but I remember what my spirits were talking about. So I can remember how the conversation goes down. Eventually, he was going to drop Katie. Katie has no family, the mother. So that this is when spirit is basically kind of accusing the mother. They threw him. It's unbelievable. They're saying it's unbelievable what they did to him. They dropped him. They transported him. They threw him out. Now there's bits and pieces that are confusing with that. When my spirits say they threw him out, I can't tell if they're saying like they threw him out of the damn car, or like off a damn bridge, or did they throw him did they throw him out into the garage? Did they throw him out into, did they kick him out of the house? Or when they say that they threw him out, was it into the garage? Remember, this is all alleged. This is not to be taken as fact. If you don't believe in astrology, you really shouldn't be here. If you don't believe in the spiritual realm, then you really shouldn't be here. This isn't the channel for you. I would log off my channel and go look at, I don't know, go look at kittens or cows. I don't know. But if you don't believe in the spiritual realm and you don't believe in astrology, then you really shouldn't be here. Okay. So she says he was in bits. He was hysterical and he was beside himself. Okay. My spirit said that he was thrown out 4 times in Tennessee, or they didn't see him. But I believe they say she threw him out 4 times in Tennessee. Spirit also says that they keep missing him during the search, that he's been missed. So I find that interesting. They also said something here. Seth stopped talking. Seth, they're telling Seth to stop talking. Nope, he died. His son, or Seth's son. He wasn't well, he died. He was hit in the head. Okay? It depends on the current of the water. Mom and Pop. So again, my spirits are blaming Mom and Pop, meaning Katie and Chris, okay? They are next level. So my spirits are saying that Katie and Chris are next level. That they came up from behind. They made it home after the restaurant. There was power behind it. Ask Seth to ask him. They probably will get arrested. We will hear more. My spirits were saying we're going to hear more soon. They took Seth's Smith. I think this is when they keep talking about Seth's gun. But here they say this is at nighttime that it happened. It's gone on long enough. Who's this? My spirits are get the presidents involved. Call the president. I mean, one spirit was call Joe Biden, and then another spirit was call President Roosevelt. I'm like, what the hell? How old are my spirits? And they said it doesn't matter. He's not busy anyway. Then they're like, it needs to get elevated. Call they're saying call the FB, meaning call. I think they're calling call the FBI. Better intercept. They're saying that the FBI better intercept. Remember, this is a month ago. They said they took blood and they flushed it down the toilet. And then they said they also flushed all their memories, their lives, down the toilet as well. It's a syndrome. They have blood on the walls, some on the floor. They cleaned blood on the wall and some on the floor. the walls and floor. What is become of all of the cash? So again, my spirits keep talking about this like GoFundMe. There's a lot of cash somewhere. They moved cash immediately. They moved it. They were both wrong. Like they were giving away prizes, like a lot. Maybe nobody was looking. So again, there is something up with either there's money involved with Sebastian, or there's money involved with the GoFundMe. Or there's just something with money. Okay. The camera. So again, my spirits are mentioning something about the camera. Okay, which is interesting because this is a month ago, right? This is a month ago, guys. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll look at it, Kimberly. Aw. Yeah, I want Chloe to be happy too, RJ Arche. That's why I did your reading for you, Chloe, because I really want you to be happy, you know? There's certain people in this world that shouldn't be alone. Like, I don't know. Oh, see, now I lost it. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Spirit says here, Spirit says something about they immediately moved cash, okay? And that there's cameras, that we're going to find something on the camera, and it's going to be a global shift in this case. So again, my spirits a month ago are talking about there's something on the camera, and there's going to be a global shift in the case due to the vehicle to get them to communicate with 911. So my spirits are calling this shit out a month ago, you guys. Here it says the vehicle to get them to communicate with 911 through the week. They have smartphones. You can call, it's instant. Now my spirits have hinted around that they had some type of burner phone, that there is hidden communication with this case, okay? So that there's a hidden smartphone. Again, my spirits are mentioning there's something about cement, and cement got into his mouth. I really don't know. I really don't want to think about that, because they sent me a vision of this, and that day when we were listening to the Spirit Box session, and they said to me, think about it. And when I sat there, and they sent me a vision, and you can literally hear my spirits say, don't show her that, in the background. And one spirit is like, are you okay? Because I think they knew that they sent me a vision. It's really weird, but if you go back to my sessions, you will hear it, because you hear the one spirit say, think about it, Junie, think about it. And then I'm sitting there and I start crying, because they literally sent me a vision of something about cement. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. They all know it. The doctor or the office, they take it to St. Mark's. There's a knife at her studio. There's fingerprints in the studio. These fingerprints were sent out from inside of the room. Both still awaiting on them, okay? So something about her physician. I'm curious, does Katie have a history of mental illness? Because I think my spirits are talking about this. This is when they're talking about the motorcycle gang, and that here they talk about something about the motorcycle, and that Seth was going to go to the motorcycle thing. Excuse me. But Chris and Katie were going to have a problem with somebody in the gang members. It says here they pissed them off. It's over. Something about I don't know, was it something about Christian or something like that? But they were talking about that Katie and Chris were not going to be part of the motorcycle thing. They're talking about Seth is a Christian. I'm not really sure what this is all about, but my spirits are going off about maybe the motorcycle gang was Christian, or I'm not really sure. The father was already in the area, okay? So here, this is where I'm trying to get at. My spirits talk about the father was already in the area. That would be Chris Proudfoot. He drove up He parked. His son was going back. Literally, spirit left him. So right here at 3200, my spirits say the father was already in the area. They actually talk about a pickup truck. He drove up, he parked, his son was not going back. Literally, spirit left him. Right there, I think that they're telling me that his spirit left him. Sebastian's spirit left him. He stayed around and moved, then came back to me since you keep asking him. So this is my spirit talking to Sebastian, and I'm thinking that Sebastian here, we're going to play it so you guys hear it. I'm thinking that Sebastian is telling them that you keep asking me. He parked, he drove up, he parked. Basically, he was hiding. My spirits say it was a pickup truck that was hiding. I don't know if Chris Proudfoot has a pickup truck, but my spirits have indicated that Sebastian was moved in a pickup truck. Then they came back to me since you keep asking him. I think he's here. Steve is going to play you for a punk. So I don't know who Steve is, but my spirits seem to think that either there's a spirit here named Steve, but they were pissed off at Chris Proudfoot here. And my spirits were talking shit on him. Like they were going to beat his ass. And my spirits were like, we're going to, either there's somebody by the name of Steve that's going to come for Chris Proudfoot and Katie, and he's going to play them like a punk, or there was a spirit here named Steve that is like, I'm going to play Chris Proudfoot like a punk. My spirits are no joke, basically. What can they do? He is running. Yeah, Chris isn't fit. Chris is pissed. So here, my spirits are saying Chris isn't fit. He's not a man. He has no patience. He was very upset about the situation and how he got played. So I think Chris feels that he got played. Okay? Because that's... None and the young boy 3 days from her missing and found dead from the same truck stop. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. My spirits were talking about Roosevelt. I was like, they were like, call President Roosevelt. And I'm like, when did you guys die? Jeez Louise, you guys are old. And that's probably why the one spirit always wants to watch baseball. But my younger spirits, they always want to watch football and basketball. Like, I have a lot of men spirits, and they always want sports on. Like, when it's March Madness, I got to have basketball playing. I think they bet or something. Like, they're in the spirit world placing bets and shit. And they asked me to pull up, like, on Google search. They'll be like, Google search something, something. I pulled up this one channel, and it was, like, sports betting. I was like, what the hell are you guys doing in the spirit world? You're betting on basketball? Like, what the hell? They crack me up. Okay, so let's see. Where did I leave? So, yeah, my spirits are, like, pissed at Chris, okay? What can they do? He is running. Yeah, Chris. Chris isn't fit. He's pissed. Like a man, my spirits are, like, saying he's not a man and he has no patience. He was very upset about the situation and how he got played. I think Chris feels like he got played with the whole custody thing with Faith. And maybe because Sebastian was going to, I don't know, speak on behalf of that. Chris, I don't think Chris ever got over that. The whole custody thing. I think there's a lot of stuff going on here with that. So we're going to play that back so you guys can hear it. Here, my spirit, after 36 minutes in, my spirits go into great detail about the sexual assault that Sebastian suffered, okay? I didn't want to write it out because my spirits are very graphic, but it's there, okay? You can't hear it. Like, you have to put on a headset and play it in slow motion. Do you guys know how to do it in slow motion? Like, do you guys know how to do that on your cell phone to play things back in slow motion? I'll show you. So, Here's the same video that we just did, okay? Right here where my spirits say that Chris was around, and he had parked far away, and he drove up. Listen to this. Right here.
Father.
The father was already in the area. Listen to this.
Father. Already in the air.
He drove up, he parked. He parked. His son. Not going back.
Literally.
There you go. So the father was already in the area. He drove up, parked. His son was not going back. Literally, spirit left him. He stayed around and moved, then came back to me since you keep asking him. So this is all here, guys. And it's just crazy because it's really matching up with what, you know, Justin Farrell's channel talked about last night.
Since he was.
Steve is going to play you for a punk. Do you see how my spirits utilize the spirit box sessions? Each of them say a word, but it forms a sentence. That's what's kind of confusing about my spirits. Hey, Rachel, it's good to see you, honey. Hey, Brooke. Welcome back, sweetie. So, like, if you listen, they each say a word, but then it completes a sentence. So what can they do? He is running. Yeah, Chris isn't fit. He's pissed.
Like a man?
Like a man. He hasn't no patience. Oh yeah, it is Father's Day. Are you guys going to go out to dinner, Brooke? They're from me typing them, Rachel, a month ago. This is from a month ago, and I wanted to show it to you guys because they're really talking about everything that they talked about last night. My spirits are, like, talking about that Sebastian was moved in a pickup truck, they say. These are my comments I gave you guys timestamps. So when you go back into the video, look down at the comment section, and then you can click on my comments. Oh, you're eating at your mom's house? Okay. That's going to be nice. So
Like,
right here,
Very upset.
they're saying that Chris was very upset about the situation and how he got played.
Play every day.
Hey, Lindsay,
Just stop. Work with people.
yes, my spirit said that they have a hard time with it. You mean like the picture? I have tried to get my spirits to do it, but they said that it's hard to like make the picture generate. So here's where they're talking about where they cleaned up the furniture, guys. So I know Sweetly had a question about the table, or there was like blood under the table. This is where they talk about they cleaned up furniture. So, yeah. So my spirits mentioned this, that there's going to be a global shift due to the vehicle that they communicated with through the 911 call, that there's going to be something with the camera. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys that. They've been talking about this. Global shift in the case due to the vehicle to get them to communicate with the 911 call through the week. Their smartphone devices, when you call, it's instant. So I'm telling you, my spirits were talking about this a while ago, and I'm shocked. Like, I can't even believe it. And I would not be surprised if they did flush something down the toilet. They're talking about they took the blood and they flushed something down the toilet, guys. Like, there's some evidence that was flushed down the toilet. They flushed all their memories, their lives down the toilet as well, they said. So they took blood, blah, 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 and they flushed it down the toilet. And then they say they flushed their memories and their lives down the toilet as well. They have blood on the walls, some on the floor, and they clean blood on the wall and some on the floor. The walls and floor. So there's something up, guys. Just doesn't. Yeah. Allegedly. Something about soap here. So when I go back and listen to it for like the third time, I always catch things that I missed. Isn't that crazy? They moved it immediately. They were both wrong.
They were both intent.
I find that absolutely fascinating that my spirits talked about this a month ago. All right, so let's it's there. If you guys want to listen to it, it's there, okay? I already have it uploaded on my channel. So, it's there for you guys to see it. All right, so let's all right. So, sorry. It's there. If you guys want to listen to it. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and start working on some of the maps. My scribble maps. If I can find it. Because my map's deleted. So I have to start from scratch. Maybe. I mean, you know, the dogs are a hit or miss, honestly. I mean, here's the thing, guys. You can have blood in your house, but, I mean, They could say that's from an old injury, or, oh, by the way, he cut his foot open. I think that he was alive when he left the house. In my own personal opinion, the reason why the dogs are not smelling like the death scent, in my own personal opinion, I am not saying that this is fact. I am speculating. And as far as I know, I am allowed to speculate in a child's case, okay? Not going to sell this to you as factual evidence. I'm just saying there might be a reason why we don't have a scent is because he was alive. And he might have been drugged or taken out of that house alive. And that's why we don't have a death scent. What do you guys think? Leave a 1 in the chat if you think that he was alive when he left that house, and that's why the dogs aren't smelling shit. I think that he was in trouble because I have Vesta showing up. I think I showed you guys Vesta before on his chart. Let me see. What time does Vesta show up? Vesta shows up here on his chart in the house of death. So that is his light, his eternal flame dimming, or he's already gone, okay? 2 people involved, alcohol, shocking event, teenage boy is there. So there's some type of head injury. So he might have actually still been alive when he left the house, but his light was dimming. I would say that his light is dimming. All right, so... All right, Sebastian Rogers' address. Let's look that up. I think it's like 112 Shipley, or what was it? 112. Does anybody know his address off the top of their head? Sebastian Rogers' family address. Okay. Stafford Court. There it is. Okay, and we're going to put a little marker there. Save it. We'll be on here for a long time, guys. Hey, September Virgo, lovely, lovely lady. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Rachel, it's not... I don't know if it's fact. It is upsetting. This whole thing is upsetting. But, you know, his astrology has that huge moon at the apex of the chart, guys. I mean, as soon as I pulled up his chart, I never have felt comfortable with Katie. I mean, that's from day one. Like, no matter where you look at the chart, there's this huge trine, a grand trine, pointing to the moon, okay? And no matter where I look, she's like that. She's all over the charts. I mean, the universe is pointing at a mother figure, okay? But it's also pointing at Venus, which could be a female caregiver, and Mars, which could be a male caregiver, okay? So, yeah. It doesn't look good. So Venus is ruling the enemy, And that can be a mother figure. Same thing with Summer Wells' chart, guys. Venus is the open enemy to Summer as well. Summer Wells has Venus as an open enemy. And at one point, when Taurus is ruling the DC line and Libra is ruling Summer, well, guess what? Venus rules Libra and Taurus rules, both are ruled by Venus. So what's that tell you? You have an open enemy and the victim both being ruled by the same planet. What does that tell you? They're together. The victim and the killer are together. And Venus usually, not always, can mean a crime of passion, it can mean sex crimes, it can mean that these two people know each other, that there's a relationship there, that they know each other, okay? So at one point, Summer Wells is being ruled by Libra, which rules Venus. And at another point, on the open enemy side, Summer is being ruled by Taurus, which, guess what? That's Venus too. So they're together in front of each other in the same house. They're being ruled by the same planet. How do you separate that for Summer Wells? What is the universe telling us? If the killer and the victim are both being ruled by the same planet, they're together. They're one. Right? Like I can't make that shit up. And, it is suspicious that I have all these pedos surrounding Summer as well. So, that's why I'm going down all of these suspects. But again, I'm going to tell you, my prime suspects are Don and Candace Wells. As far as an astrological point of view, I can't not look at Don and Candace Wells. Especially now that I know where his damn asteroid is. That I stopped using Don Prayer, and now I'm starting to use his actual fucking... He actually has an asteroid named Don Wells. I can't even believe that. And the Wells, guess where the Wells show up? In the 8th house of death. The Wells show up in the 8th house of death, and Don Wells shows up riding the moon, which also rules Summer. So if she was taken, if she was taken and kidnapped, like I pulled up that one asteroid, Persephone, because in that story, Pluto takes Persephone. And in the end of Summer's tragic story, Pluto has Summer, which rules death. Okay, I hate to say that. I know, we're supposed to keep hope alive, but it's not my job to judge the parents or accuse the parents of anything. It's just my job to tell you what the stars are saying. As far as what the stars are saying, that if she was kidnapped, I can't not say that Don and Candace have their hand in it somehow. If she was kidnapped and if she was removed off that hill somehow, I cannot pull away from the parents on an astrological level, okay? I'm not accusing them because I'm just giving you the definitions of what these planets mean, and you guys can Google this stuff yourself. You can research this yourself. What does the moon mean for a missing child? What does the moon represent for a child under 5? It rules the mother and the child. Now, if this person is an adult, it's a second indicator of where the person might be. But because we're dealing with a child that's 5 and under, the moon is the mother and child together. Okay? Mother and child together, and guess who's riding it? Guess who's right there? And they're all drunk. They're drunk. Allegedly. As far as the astrology is saying, the astrology and the planets are saying that they're drunk, okay? I'm not saying that they're drunk. The planets are, okay? So for all the haters and Wells supporters that want to come at me, sorry, but that's what the planets are saying. Okay, so now we're going to work on the degree. So for Sebastian, pull up his chart. I'm going to pull his chart up in here. So I'd like to do my first chart. Okay, because it's confusing because the woman the woman's audio that she did on the audio clip shows that her camera was stuck at 3:15, right? So we don't actually know the time that the camera picked up those voice recordings, right? So, and just remember, I'm using, like, none of this would be possible without the queen of astrology to me is Kirsty McIntosh, okay? I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to learn how to do criminal astrology, she teaches us how to do it. This is her book, Criminal Astrology, Volume 1, Understanding the Crime Chart, okay? And it's Kirsty McIntosh. Her channel, she has a video teaching you guys how to do the degrees, all right? Here's the degrees. It's in her book. Just remember that when you're doing these maps, that north is actually south when you're mapping out the planets, and south is actually north, okay? So the Sagittarius degree is 240 degrees, and then you would add the planet that's there. Or if you wanted to map out a fixed star, or if you wanted to map out an asteroid, you would add the degree, the degree of Sagittarius, and then add the planet to that, okay? And then you map it out. You multiply it, you do the math, and then you map, then you go to Scribble Maps, and then you enter in the degree, and Scribble Maps figures it out for you, okay? This is all Kirsty McIntosh teaches you guys how to do this, okay? Some sort of altered mindset for sure. Numbers don't lie. We believe you, Junie. Yeah. I mean, it could be a possibility with Summer Wells that she might have heated up. Like, I feel like she might have passed away in the vehicle. There's just this feeling that I have when I look at the astrology. Again, I have no proof of this. I'm just interpreting what the charts say with Summer Wells. Because Mars represents a car. And she's being ruled by Mars. And then it shows her getting hot. So either she's hot from being in the car, or I could look at it like this. She is connected to Neptune. The whole family is connected to Neptune at some point during the day. So that means that the family is under the influence. There's a delusion. There's an illusion. There's lies. It's a fog machine. Neptune is the fog machine. And just like Sebastian goes missing on a void of course moon. Okay? Sebastian went missing when the moon was void. That means Mother Moon was switching signs when he went missing. It's a very powerful time when people go missing. And it means that you're not going to find, it's going to be really hard to find them. And when the private investigators or the FBI or the investigators are investigating this case, they are investigating it through a fog machine because of the void of course moon. Okay, so Sebastian and Summer, they both have that in common. They both go missing on a void of course moon. Okay, and it means that it can be time until we find him, that there's going to be confusion in finding him. There's going to be lack of communication. Things are going to slip through the cracks. And that the people searching for him are going to have confusion too. And it can mean that it's going to take longer until they are recovered. Unfortunately, it can mean that. Yes. So this book is good, Susie Q. And the other book that I use, this book here, Caroline Lilly, Forensic Criminal Astrology for Everyone. You know, when you're doing the maps, she kind of points out a lot of things here as well about, you know, what to. She kind of helps explain like how the planets move. So you know that the sun is going to move the fastest. So when I'm trying to track someone, I'm following the moon, I'm following the sun, right? Because they move fast. Mercury moves fast. These things all move fast. And Kirsty's book kind of breaks it down too. But you know, in Sebastian's charts, you can kind of see as well. Hold on, I'll show you. The directions of each planet. So, first house is east. Aries is east. Second house is north by east. Taurus is south by east. Third house, northeast. Gemini, west by south. Fourth house, north. Fifth house, north by west. Sixth house, northwest. Seventh house, west. Eighth house, southwest, south by west. Ninth house, southwest. 10th house is south. 11th house is southeast by south. And the 12th house. So when we break down the charts and we try to figure out which planet is ruling our victim and which house they may be in. So that's where we go from there. And then, of course, we want to always map out the AC line. We want to always map out the DC line. We want to map out sometimes the IC and sometimes the MC line. At least take into consideration where these degrees are on the maps when we actually map out the planets. All right, so where's my phone? Okay, I'm going to pull up Sebastian's chart. This is going to be a long video, and I'm probably not going to have his whole chart done, but we can at least get it started. My company just left, so I just got back my front room. I had a neighbor move in with me for like a week because she's fighting with her husband. The one that I told her was probably going to not end well. That one. Yeah. So I just got my front room back. So give me a minute. Do. What time was the 911 call for Sebastian? Do we remember? It was at 6:20 or 6:33 or 6:20. I got to have the exact time if you guys can remember. Yes, it was. It's been crazy. Yeah, see this, what time is it here for summer? I know I'm jumping between summer and Sebastian, but see, this is at 3:20, guys. So Don Wells's asteroid is right there. So he's in this yod with the sun and the moon, which is the both giver of light, giver of life. And look, it's this finger of fate, finger of God. It points right down to Pluto, which is her body. And she's getting ready to move into, like, travel. And see, you can see when she's being ruled by Libra, and then Taurus is down here on the DC line, that tells you that her open enemy and Summer are both being ruled by Venus. That looks really bad for a mother figure, okay? Like, she's with her person. She's with the person that either neglected her or is responsible for her death. Okay? And then you have that finger of God, finger of fate, just pointing right down to in the womb, and in the tomb is the 4th house, and Pluto is death. Pluto is death. Capricorn also means death. It's your physical body. Yeah, what time was the 3-way sheriff call, Susie Q? Yeah, the exact time he left the house. Well, what time was the 911 call, guys? 6:26. So 6:26 was when Chris made the first phone call. Correct? So I'm going to start with that and see what I get. For Summer Wells was 6:26. What time was for what time was for Sebastian Rogers? Yeah, for Summer Wells, I have her in trouble of near death as far as astrology is concerned, okay? I'm not saying that it's fact that Summer passed away. We still have to keep hope alive, but I'm just saying, as far as the astrology is concerned, Summer Wells is in big trouble at about 3:20. 3:20. She's in trouble. And then the whole astrology takes a huge shift when the moon is at the 29th degree and Capricorn and Pluto rule her first house. That's when the astrology shifts gears, guys. It shifts gears, and it's like the universe kind of makes it officially known that you are no longer searching for a person that's living. Okay? Like, because Capricorn is ruling that first house, and the first house rules the victim. So if Pluto and Capricorn are in the first house at 9 o'clock, the astrology like just shifts, okay? And just says the deed has been done. Everything that needed to be done to hide this, hide her body basically forever, you know, like it's done. She's no longer, we are no longer looking for a person that is alive. That's just the astrology. I am not saying that that is fact, okay? I'm just presenting and breaking down the charts so you guys understand what the planets are telling you, okay? And again, this is not just my own opinion. This is written in books. This is talked about very openly with astrologers. When Capricorn rules the first house, you know, we're no longer looking for someone who is living, okay? And I'm sorry that that's what the astrology says for her, but that's what happens. So, for Sebastian Rogers, the call came in at 6:33, correct? Okay, thank you, Susie Q. I love you so much, honey. All right, give me 1 second. Is that fan really loud in the background? Can you guys hear it? I hope you can hear me. But it gets really hot in here. Just give me 1 second. I'm switching from Summer Wells to Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian. So many similarities with Sebastian Rogers' case and Summer Wells. You know, the 6 o'clock, the 6:20, you know, 6:33 for Sebastian and 6 something for Summer, 6:26 for Summer. 6:30, that's so close in time that they both went missing. I know his is AM, but hers is PM, but still. And then, you know, they're both in Tennessee. They both their names begin with an S. Both of them have water showing up in their chart. Both have Pisces showing up in their chart and Aquarius showing up in their chart as well for where a possible body location could be. There's so many similarities between Summer and Sebastian, and one, they both go missing on a void of course moon. That is crazy. That just blows my mind. Many similarities. All right, just give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to pull it up. And my husband keeps texting me, so give me 1 second. All right, so as soon as you pull in to, where am I at? 6:33 a.m., okay? Look at this huge trine. for Sebastian Rogers. And look where the moon is. Now with Summerwell's, the moon turns into 29th degree as well after 9. But for Sebastian, as soon as you pull up his chart, look where the moon is. And the moon rules family, caregivers that are female. It also rules women that, you know, have red hair. Virgo is the DC, so I have 2 people involved. That's Mercury. And I have the moon opposed Neptune here. Look at that. So I have a mother that could be possibly telling not the truth. Okay? She is opposed Neptune here. So see that red line? That's an opposition. This house rules the killer. This house rules the victim. Why does it keep jumping like that? So it's at an anaretic degree. It's a degree of fate as well. Also, with this as well, it can mean that a mother is mentally unstable or not well. We also have something hidden about his body, or his physical body being hidden. I have a male there that's over 30. 2 people involved in Aquarius as well. The ancient planet of Pisces is Jupiter. That's why you'll see Sagittarians and Pisces, they get along. Or you'll see like Aries and Scorpio, they always find each other again. Because like, you guys are ruled by the same ancient planet. And there's this weird connection that you have. And you won't understand it. It's because your ancient rulers are together. It's really weird. So, you know, he's got a wound to the head somehow. I would say a wound to his above his shoulders for sure. So as far as my mile markers, what we do to find mile markers is we look at all the degrees of all the planets. So you see how this one's like 26 degrees, 29th degree. So if I had like every planet showing up at a 26 degree, I might use that as a mile marker. But we also go to the IC line for a mile marker. Again, in the womb and in the tomb, I have family, which is Cancer, and a matriarch, and I have 2 people ruling the house for in the womb and in the tomb. Okay? So, my first mile marker, I'm going to do 18. So, Kirsty, like I said, she did a whole video, guys, on how to do this. And I think I rewinded it and watched it like, I don't know, 1,000 times. And then you finally get it. You just have to watch it like 20 times. Like, probably you guys would understand it the first time you watched it. Me, I am dyslexic and I have horrible ADD. So I had to watch it like 1,000 times. I'm not kidding either. Okay, like seriously. All right, so here is my notes, right? There's the math that we have to do. There's math involved. All right. So I want to track the moon for this chart. And there's going to be like 3 charts that we have to do, okay, guys? This is just me working on the first one. All right. Hold on, I lost my pen now. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to map the moon. And the moon is in Virgo here. So when you want to look at your degrees, go over to this side here, because it will tell you, you know, exactly where the moon, what position the moon is in. It will tell you if it's in retrograde as well, or, well, the moon doesn't really go retrograde, but tells you, like, if the planets are retrograde, you know. It doesn't look like we had any planets in retrograde the night that he went missing. So people were totally aware of what the hell they were doing. They were well aware of what they did. And I always look down here too for a body, guys. This little square here. I always follow this. Just so you kind of know how I do this when I'm looking at charts. So, this means fire, air, earth, and water, right? So, and this is cardinal, fixed, you know, mutable. So, if I pulled up all the asteroids, there's an asteroid for Katie. There's an asteroid for Chris. There's an asteroid for Sebastian. So they all show up, you know, in air, earth, fire. Look how much water I have for Sebastian, and they're all kind of clumped together. And it's not just that, you know, it's the certain planets that you want to look at. So we know Mercury is involved in his disappearance. They're in water. We know that the sun is involved somehow, who is an older male, older than 28 years old. He's in water too. The AC line, which rules the victim, he's in water. Saturn rules the physical body. That's in water, okay? So that's another indication of how I do this when I sometimes come out and fully commit to they're in earth, or, you know, they were burned, or they were, you know, because like if it shows that they're in fire, if I have more stuff in fire, I might say, well, we might have some evidence that was burned. Or, you know, if there's a certain planet in fire, I might say, you know, they may have burned his cell phone, or they may have burned letters, something like that. I can remember with Susan Morphew, a planet showed up, Mercury showed up, I think, in fire. I can't remember. There was something that showed up in fire, and I remember looking at it going, oh, damn, he burned something. He burned something, and then later on it came out like, oh, yeah, they found stuff in the fireplace. So, like, you know, that's kind of how you can figure out where a body is. And Saturn, we always look to for where the body is, okay? Because Saturn rules the hair, skin, teeth, nails, the muscles, and the overall human skeleton of the victim. So, and with it being Pisces, that can be freshwater ways. With the Aquarius element, that can be freshwater ways as well. So he's either right near water or he's in water, guys. Okay? I hope that makes sense, guys, what I'm doing. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, what I'm saying. Yeah, there's going to be at least three or maybe even 4. You did too? Feel like he was in water too? That Cumberland River is no joke, man. It's scary. I feel like it's a spirit. Like, I feel like the Cumberland River has, I don't know, like it's like taken many people. That's Poseidon. Like, he's no joke. Like, he will take you. It's kind of why in the beginning of the year, I kind of warned you guys, like, we're going to have a lot of bodies showing up in the water this year. And there was something that showed up, and right before I did a live stream, and I told you guys, we're going to have a lot of bodies in the water, and the next day the damn bridge collapsed. Remember? Remember that? I said Poseidon is really active right now, and just be careful around water. I see this stuff on the charts, and I don't know how, like, I'm not educated enough yet to really break it down what I'm seeing, but, you know, there is Aquarius energy, there was Pisces energy, and Neptune, who is the god of Poseidon, will get you. And I remember seeing that a couple days before the bridge collapse. And I came on and did a little warning, like, hey guys, if you're around water this weekend or this week, you know, just please be careful. Same thing. Okay. $29 times Virgo. All right, so Virgo is 150 and 29. So that brings me to 179 for the math. Okay? So, as far as my degree. And my mile marker is going to be 18. So I take this little doohickey and I go over top of Sebastian's house and we'll do 18. Gotta make it bigger. So that's 1.8. So that could be 18 feet, 18 yards, 18 miles, 1.8, okay? 1.8 miles. Hope that makes sense. Now, I'm not as fast as Kirsty and all of the other well-known astrologers. I'm still learning, so I go super snail-paced speed, guys. So I want to get it right at the 18th degree, or 18 miles out. Okay? So that is one distance here. Kind of gives us an idea of where he could be. And that can go all the way out to 18 miles, 180 miles. I can push that out, okay? But right now I'm going to do 1.8. So there could be evidence anywhere near this, right? Okay, now let's map out the moon. I'm at 179 for the moon, and I'm going to take her all the way out. So 179. Yep. Thank you, Susie Q. Sorry, I get real quiet when I do this. So I'm just trying to focus. You gotta have a steady hand to get it to be exactly where I want it to be. And that takes me right to Old Hickory. So and then I'll label it the moon. And I do find it fascinating that my spirits mentioned that bank and that church And evidently there's a water source nearby. There's some type of woods nearby. And that is right near my moon line. So I do find that interesting as well. Okay. So let's do another planet here. I'm going to do 1 mile out as well. Or 10 miles out. We get the Civil War battles and Trail of Tears. Yeah, that's a lot of energy there, huh? Thank you, XD. Yeah, you do, Susie, with the miles. Wait, let me make sure I'm on. Crap, I gotta check something. Hold on. Shit. I'm supposed to be on Imperial. Yeah, Kirsty tells us to do it on Imperial. Maybe I should try it. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference, but I should just double check it. Let me do the 18 again and see what I get. Just going to double check because I have it on Imperial. It does change it a little bit, doesn't it? Imperial measurements. Do 10. Should also do 2.9 for the mom. I just don't trust her. In my own opinion, there's just something with the mom. I'm sorry. For her moon to be like that, as soon as you freaking pull up this chart, it's not the best situation. It's just not. I don't... You know how the mom is showing up at 2.9 degrees? Now, I know I don't have a lot of 2.9 degrees, but it's just like... It's just so prominent on the chart. Like, ugh. Like, you can't not deny that moon, man. With that big red line. And it's literally like an airplane flying into the moon. Like, the whole universe is like... whoosh, and that's like a finger, right? I mean... How many hints can the universe tell you to look at the moon? It's a big clue that the universe is telling us. Like, she's at the end of a humongous apex. As soon as you pull up the chart. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's not good, man. It's not good. Doesn't look good for mom. Does that mean that the mom is guilty? No. It does not mean that she's guilty. I'm not saying that she is. I'm just saying it looks very suspicious, okay? That's all I'm going to say. It's not the best situation for a mother to show up like that. So I think I should still do 2.9 out. Like at the most, 29 miles out. And then 2.9 miles. I know I end up with a lot of little mile markers, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And here's the thing, how law enforcement can use this is if they already have like an area that they're suspicious of, and they just so happen to look at my map and go, holy shit, yeah, her line goes right through, right? I mean, like, her line goes right through that area that we were suspicious of. We should probably check it. That's how I would look at it. I'm not saying that law enforcement should drop all of their searching techniques, you know, the way that they do, but it would not hurt for them to start utilizing astrology, and do their basic, you know, searching and the way that law enforcement does their searches. But if you are suspicious of, let's say that let's say that you have a killer, right? And you're suspicious of a killer, but law enforcement knows where this killer lives, or they suspect this person. And if the line goes right through their front door and out their back door, and the line goes right into their backyard, you know, kind of like the Michael Vaughn's case, how Juniper was ruling him and it went right to the backyard of Stacy Wanderer's house. Like, you cannot, I'm just saying, like, damn, if a planet is ruling a killer and you're suspicious of a killer and you're a law enforcement and you happen to see this map and you see that the damn line goes right through their freaking house, well, I think that you should take it a little bit seriously, because the universe is telling you something, right? And what do you think psychics are tuning into? This is the same shit that psychics are tuning into. They're tuning into the universe. So there's a lot of searchers out there that poo-poo astrology. You really shouldn't. You know, there's a searcher that says that he believes in psychics, but he doesn't believe in astrology, and it just makes him look like a fucking idiot. Because if you're saying that you don't believe in astrology, but you believe in psychics, you look like a damn asshole. Just search. If a psychic is showing the same area that the astrology is showing, what do you think a psychic tunes into? So, yeah, that really pissed me off when that one YouTuber that's searching for summer said that. Like, you're an idiot. You're an asshole. Sorry, but you are. All right. My tribe fought with the U.S. Army to relocate y'all. I have Cherokee Indian in me. I have Cherokee Indian. I have Irish, German. And it's really weird because my blood type doesn't match any of that. Like, I think I'm a freak of nature. I don't even get it. It's really weird. Like, my blood type wouldn't even match what I am. All right, so that's some mile markers that, you know, he could be, some evidence could be out here, some evidence could be out here, some evidence of his body could be out here, some evidence of his body could be out here. And this is for the 911 call. You're an O negative or O positive. Yeah, a lot of natives fought with the military, and some of them, yeah, some of them, you're O negative too? Yeah, that's a rare blood type. Well, it's sad what happened to them. You ever see that documentary about all of them being buried in the school's backyard? Like, what the hell? What'd they find? 10,000 bodies or something? I can't remember. No, maybe it was 5,000. It was some crazy number. Don't quote me on the number, okay? I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that they weren't allowed to dance. My mother talks about that. Because my mother's grandmother grew up on a reservation, and they weren't allowed to dance. If they got caught dancing like the tribal dances, they were arrested, like, or taken away. Like, you weren't allowed to dress up in the garments and stuff. So this would have been my mom's grandmother. So my great-grandmother, I think, yeah. They weren't allowed to dance the Native American dances. It's really sad. Okay, I also want to map out Pluto because, and Saturn, Pluto represents death, Saturn represents the body. I also want to map out the life force, the vital force, which is the sun. So life, death, right? So we're gonna map out a lot of the planets, guys. All right, just to be safe. Okay, so I just did the moon. I want to do Pluto. Pluto is an Aquarius, so Aquarius degree is at a higher degree. So we're going to figure out Aquarius. So Aquarius is at a 300 degree. And I would do that by 0.1. So, okay. And then we do this doohickey here. And we're going to look at 301. You guys doing okay in here? Yeah, we have a stalker. She's nuts. She's totally nuts. This takes me right out to Whitehall. Look at that, guys. Or White Hill. I've always been curious about the White Hill, Whitehall, or whatever as well. That's death. White Hill. White House I'm curious about too, because I think the sun is White Hill. So let me mark it down, guys, because I screw up. You know, I really wish that I wasn't so ADD and that I could be a better host and stuff, but I'm just not. I mean, I hope you guys understand. I'm just like really discombobulated all the time. Okay, but I do try. All right, let me bring you in close. So the moon takes us down by the water there. Because there's the Cumberland River right here. Okay, so the next planet I want to map out. Oops, I'm already screwing up. I gotta mark it. See? Make sure I mark it, guys, because we'll get lost. This is Pluto, which rules death, okay? Thank you, Susie Q. Well, Stalker needs to stop. They are bringing bad vibes onto themselves. Oh yeah, Stalker's really negative. They had like obsession issues in their chart, like major obsession. Like I did their astrology for them, and I was like, holy shit. Not that I'm judging her on her astrology, but, and she like admitted to it. She was like, yeah, I can become a little bit obsessive. I was like, yeah, critical, obsessed, very, thinks that the world owes them something, like everybody's here to serve them to some degree, kind of a thing. I was like, damn. Okay, so Mars also rules a male. The sun also rules a male. Saturn, hugging that AC line. Like, see that, guys? Saturn there, hugging the victim line in Pisces, like that. Like, that's him. That's Sebastian. He's already hidden. He's already hidden away. When they make the 911 call, he's already hidden and gone. And it's a secret. And secret electronical device, because Aquarius rules electricity. Mercury rules communication. And it's in the house of something that's hidden, right? A secret. So there's communication hidden from law enforcement. And those two are right there. In the house of endings and sorrows. It looks really bad for caregivers. Like, that looks horrible. Conjunct death like that. Well, it's not a huge conjunction. It's 9 degrees apart, but still, yeah. Death. For his... Like, I'm really beginning to wonder if Chris wanted to protect his reputation somehow. Or a male figure in his life wanted to protect his reputation somehow. Because... Just saying, like, this rules, like, you know, your community, your friends, your friend groups. It is interesting, right? I mean, damn. Poor Sebastian. Just, ugh. That right there. Saturn hugging that victim line. That's his body. With an older male. 2 people. Do you guys see it? I mean, does that make sense to you? I mean, it's really clear as far as the planets are saying. Yeah, maybe, or maybe they had like burner phones, guys. Some type of electrical device is hidden. It's hidden away. Okay, let's map out, what's the other one I wanted to map out? The sun. The sun and Saturn. So the sun is at 7 degrees at a 330 degrees. So we're going to add them two together. So that takes me to 330 plus 9. We'll do Saturn. And then the sun is 330 plus 7 degrees. 330 degrees plus 7 degrees is 337. So I'm going to map out 339 and 337 for the sun and Saturn. So they'll be really close together. Oops, sorry guys. Okay. Saturn is 339. 339 degrees. I might need to redo my moon because my moon line looks a little off kilter. 339. I want to get it right over top of his house. So I got to try to balance it right over top of his house. And this line takes me right up to White House. So this is Saturn, which rules a physical body. So it's an important line, I think. I really do think it's important, guys. I really appreciate you all being here with me. I'm sorry I'm so slow, but, you know, I'm still a student, guys. honestly, if anyone ever comes to me and is like, hey, your map found somebody, I'll be very honest with you. I don't even think I'll take credit for it. I'm serious. Like, if I ever find somebody on my maps, I mean, of course I'll take credit for it, but I won't take credit for it without showing people Kirsty McIntosh first. Like, I got to give her mad props, because none of us would know how to do this without her, you know? And that's the truth. And even if I think law enforcement ever contacted me, I'd probably refer them to Kirsty first. Like, just to, I'd tell them what I feel, but then I would say, hey, maybe you should also call Kirsty, because she is, amazing. And I learned it from her. So I probably would tell them to call Kirsty, because she's the original. She is amazing. Boy kisser. You're weird, boy kisser. Oh, add the city. Yeah, these people are weird. It's kind of sad that they're doing this, because we're trying to help find a missing child that needs help. So it just kind of shows how sick you are, that you're coming in on a live stream that's actually doing location mapping for a missing child. And you're coming in doing that for a missing kid. So that makes you extra sick. Makes you extra sick in the head, right? That you're doing this on a channel that's actually trying to help find somebody. I mean, regardless of how I feel about the Proudfoots, that doesn't matter. If I think they're guilty or not, this actually might actually help find him. Over and over again, these maps have located people, have located missing items, like a necklace or a car that's stolen or a missing pet. And sadly, human bodies, remains, okay? It happens all the time. So this is the life force. This is the vital force of the heart, which is the sun, which is ruled by Leo, 337. So let's map out 337. We just balance this right over top of his house. And this is the sun's life force. And look how close it is to Saturn. That can't be a coinkydink, right? And it makes a little pie. So we'll pull up on this little pie so you guys can see it. I'm very interested in that area as well. Right here. And right in here where it maps out this road, this highway 258 or road 258. And that's all along Drake's Creek. That area right there, and where the mile markers hit, I'd be interested in. I want to try to redo my moon, because I think we did the moon when I didn't have the imperial thing. And then I really want to focus on AC, DC, all those lines as well. Oh, crap. Well, let me just try to redo the moon. Okay, the moon was 29 degrees. So we have to remember the moon is at a 90 degree. That's why when you do your astrology charts, if you don't know your time of birth, we'll always tell you to do noon, because noon is when the moon is at like a 90 degree angle, or 90 degrees. So that's why. The moon is very important for the time of your birth. So it's 333 for me here. Means I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right things. Moon is Virgo. So that's 90 and 29. Wait, no. I'm wrong. Hold on. Virgo is 150. 150 and 29. So 9, 7, 179. So like 180. So let me just try to do it, because I think when we mapped out the moon, it was at a metric, and I just changed it to imperial. Let me get right over top of the house. I'm going to take it to 179, okay, guys? Here we go. It's so hot, I bet. Yeah. Hey, Wild Man's mom. It's good to see you, honey. Doesn't take me off too far. $179. It did take me a little off too far. So it looks like the metric degree is just a little off. Not by much, though. Not by much. Not by much, see? So this was the metric degree, and that's the imperial degree. So, yeah, I mean, it makes a little bit of a difference, but not much. I mean, his body could really be there. Or evidence, guys. Could be evidence of some sort. Or someone who's directly involved in his death was in this area. If we have any record of them being in this area. See, there's that old hickory that they searched. This river is huge. And there's that ferry road that everyone was interested in. Something about Shackles Island and Ferry Road. Like that. Oh, that's right there near the moon line and near the mile marker. I'm so glad. It's a balmy 93. Wow. Like 99 degrees where you're at. Holy moly. How hot is it where you are, Brooke? So is it just Tennessee that has a heat warning then? Or is it, have other places had, oh, the river flows east to west, which is odd to me. Yeah, that is odd. Oh my gosh. All of the south is hot, yeah. It's hot here too, guys. I mean, we get humidity. Like, it's not fun here either. And we're in the city, so there's like no shade. It's just a concrete island. I hate it. Okay. So now I want to do the AC and DC line. Because, you know, it's victim and enemy, right? So and then I'll probably add like I definitely need to do Mercury and Venus, because Mercury is going to show us communication. Jupiter, I'm going to map out Jupiter because Jupiter does rule teenagers, young boys. Mercury also rules children, so I should do that as well. And so Mercury, the sun, you see when I map out Mercury and the sun, it's going to be really close because they're all kind of in, there's a huge stellium in Pisces, like damn, that's a stellium, guys. That's when all these planets are clumped together in one house and something goes wonky. Something drowns. I mean, even on your natal chart, when you have a stellium like that, it can be very positive, but sometimes one planet gets kind of drowned out and it kind of suffocates a little bit. But you don't know which planet does, you know? It's hit or miss. A lot of serial killers have really strong, big stelliums. Ted Bundy had a huge stellium. Like all his planets were in like, were down here on his chart, and they were all clumped together. Like Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, they all have like really close, clumped together stelliums. No, I mean, just because you have a stellium, don't think you're going to turn into a serial killer. That's not what I mean. It's just sometimes something can get a little wonky with it. But other times it can really push the planets to kind of try to dominate one another, and then you get extra blessings from one planet because it's really trying to shine, right? But when we're looking at a death chart, we're looking at a possible death chart, we're looking at a crime chart. So this is a lot of energy clumped up in the house of sorrows, and the house of something that is ending, in the house of mental illness, in the house of endings, and trafficking somebody, moving somebody in a secret way, doing stuff in secret, doing things illegal. My spirits have mentioned hotels and motels, and this house does rule doing things in secret, like at a motel as well. I just want to say that. I mean, this Neptune rules hotels, motels, doing things that are illegal in bedrooms, doing things that are illegal, well, not really in bedrooms, but in the bedroom. Not saying that this is happening to Sebastian. I'm just saying that it means multiple things at multiple times. I'm just telling you everything, that the definition of the 12th house. But it definitely means something's hidden. We have a huge stellium of all these planets clumped together, and something is hidden. Communication, an older male with his body, and then we have Venus and Mars in there together. That can be a mother and a father as well. In a blue vehicle, blue, light blue. This house is the color blue. Or like kind of like a light grayish blue kind of colors, which I think her vehicle is like that. What color is the pickup truck? If it's white, that's Virgo. Virgo rules white, which rules the DC line. White. So Virgo gives me the white color, and Pisces gives me blue color. Mars gives me red color. I guess we are lucky we are still getting eggs. Oh, really? The chickens? Why would they not lay eggs, Brooke? Because they're too hot? I wouldn't want to give birth either if I was hot. I would not want to lay an egg either. I'd be like, sorry, Mom. I am not laying an egg for you today. It is hot. They're hot. Just a question. I don't know a lot about chickens, but if they're not laying eggs, can they get sick? Like, get one stuck up inside of them or something, you know? Like, just saying, like, that can't be good. All right, so 340 is AC line, 340. No, hold on, I gotta delete it. Dang it, it's gonna make me delete my moon line. Let me see if I can just get it to delete. Okay, all right, so let me move this. So I can do the AC line at 340. And then we'll do the DC line. Yeah, it really clumps a lot of energy over in here. That's why I'm really interested in this area. Hold on. Crap. Now I gotta redo the moon. Okay. $340. So AC line is here. Save it. Okay, and let's do the DC line. The DC line is showing up at, I feed, layer feed, mealworms, oyster shells, assorted seeds, peas, and garden cuttings, like lettuce or cabbage or whatever. She's got, let me tell you guys, Brooke has the fattest chickens I've ever seen in my life. They are happy and healthy, and they are just so sweet. I mean, I have never seen healthy feathers, and they're just plump, and they're so beautiful. Like, I know a chicken isn't really beautiful, but like, Brooke's chickens are gorgeous, okay? Like, if there was a chicken, like, model show, her chickens would come in first place. I'm not kidding, okay? Like, I love her chickens. They are so fluffy. They really are. They really are. Okay. So, Virgo is, let's see. My Virgo degree is 150. And the DC line is coming in at 10. See that? So it'd be 150 degrees plus 10 degrees. Takes me to 160 for my DC. So it makes a pie down here at the moon line. Okay, so this, it makes like a pie. When it makes a pie like that, I'm very suspicious of it. And I believe when I did the one map, I mapped out the restaurant from the I remember I had one line going through the school and I had another line going right through the restaurant. Because that's when I'll do asteroids on another day. I'll do asteroids on another day. We'll map out their asteroids as well. So I remember that one of the asteroids mapped out the restaurant and another asteroid mapped out the school, which I thought was interesting. So when we do the other maps, I'm going to try to do it in a different color and put it on top of this. It might get a little confusing, but see, like Susie Q and Brooke and Aggie will call me and be like, hey, check this address. And I have checked addresses and it shows up on the map. That's why I need to have my own map for my own records. So, I mean, you guys would probably look at this map, you probably look at the astrology and you would think that the AC line and the DC line should be going left and right? But it doesn't. Because of the way that you have to remember we're doing the quarters, how north is south and south is okay. North is technically south and south is technically north. Does that make sense? So when you map out the planets, the map, it's reversed. I hope that makes sense. So we're mapping out everything here on this chart. And when it goes on the map of the land, it's following the trajectory of the planets. I hope that makes sense. And we're going to do Venus and Mars, Jupiter, because that rules teenage boys. And Jupiter is, so I'm looking for where Jupiter is. Jupiter is at 10 degrees in Taurus. So I'll go and pull Taurus's degree. $30 and 10, so that's 40 degrees. Yes, up is down and down is up. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, when I first started doing that, it took me for, that was the one part that I really struggled with, because I would do the whole map and then I would look at the chart and I'd be like, what the hell is Kirsty telling me to do? Like because I would think that this chart, I thought that this chart should match the land, right? That's how I was looking at it. Like, why doesn't it match up? But when you realize that, charting the planets, it's the trajectory of the planets is in reverse. And you're trying to map it out on a map. So that's why it doesn't, it doesn't look right. But it is right. Trust me, it's right. I've been watching, was just power washing. In my opinion, Sebastian was moved a few times, so hard to find a location. Well, if he was moved a few times, Kim, this map is going to show it. Even if he was moved, it will still show it. These lines will play a role somehow. Like, all these lines that I've done are where they've searched. Like, they had that big search here. They had a big search right through here. And my map goes right through it. Right where they searched. These lines. So even if he's been moved, it's still going to map something out. This map is kind of like the past, the present, and the future of the crime. I hope that makes sense. So right through here on this road, law enforcement did that huge search, and it maps out exactly where they searched. Even when they searched this area down here, we mapped it out, right where they were looking. So it's weird. It's mapping out places that they've already searched as well. So it's crazy. Okay. So my IC line and Jupiter I should do next, and then I'm going to head out because we've been on for like 2 hours, and I know my mods have stuff to do and it's Father's Day, so I don't want to take up too much time. So we'll do Jupiter and the IC line, and then we'll head out. And then I'll come back on in a couple of days, and then we'll do after the restaurant, after they ate dinner, and then if you guys can tell me the next chart that you want me to do for, like, is it 9:15 or 10, or should I map out 10 p.m. when she hears the thump and Vesta shows up on the chart? Because Vesta shows up in the 8th house right around 10 p.m., guys. Right when I think Sebastian is in trouble. Big trouble. I think so. If you want to, you can. There it did. There it did. There it did. There it is. Okay, so we'll do Jupiter and the IC line, and then I'll let you guys go. Gemini, so we're looking up at the degree of Gemini. Gemini is 60. 78 degrees. So we'll do 78 degrees. Where does this take me? 78. See, that takes me out near that Glatton, where his glass, well, it wasn't his glasses, but where they found the glasses and stuff like that. So even the astrology is mapping that out. Okay, so now Jupiter. So 30 plus, did I do 40? 40 degrees. So 40 degrees is next. So this is Jupiter. Which does rule a teenage boy. So let's name that Jupiter and IC. And I'll do 90 degrees as well, because I believe that the 90 degrees of the moon, one point during the chart, is also going to take me to the school. And then we'll go. If I remember correctly. Either it takes me to the restaurant or the school. I can't remember. the 90-degree angle. So I find that interesting as well. So let's look here real close and then we'll head out, because I do think it's interesting that that degree, I think it takes me right through the damn school. Hope you guys can see. A lot of terrain, guys, and it's really green. There's that Latimer, right near that. These lines here, how they interconnect like that. Right here. If somebody lives here or they know something. The school. Yeah, see this? This is crazy. How the astrology does this, how it maps it out. His school. There's a school, guys. Like, how the hell does astrology do that? That's his school. Look at that. It goes right through it. Yeah, oh yeah, thank you, Brooke. I almost forgot. That was my problem to begin with, is that I didn't save it, and I lost everything. It also maps out that little pond that they searched right here. See, guys? This is how amazing astrology is. That's the pond that they searched, and it's mapped out on our maps. So the universe is watching. So for all the searchers out there that want to poo-poo astrology, I really wouldn't. God is talking to you. The universe is talking to you. And somehow, if there's, I think it's when something tragic happens to us that the planets start to track us. Because I did try to track, like, my family one day, just out of curiosity. It did track my daughter to her school. I followed Mercury because she was in school. And I followed Mercury because she's a child, right? So out of curiosity, Mercury did take me to the street outside of her school. For my husband, I don't know if I did the right degree for my husband. But it took me to, like, a block over from the store that he works at. But what was weird is that the owner of his store owns that other store too, but he doesn't work at that store. It still mapped me out to another store that his boss owns. It's like a liquor store, but my husband doesn't work at that one. My husband works at another store. So I was like, what the hell? Like, so even though we didn't have a tragedy happen to us that day, the planets still kind of mapped out kind of near where they are, which is really weird. It's really weird. Now, I think if there's a tragedy and I needed to track them, I think it would probably take me to the convenience store that he works at. So, it was really weird. And I had no idea that his boss owned that other store at the time. So, yeah, that was crazy. So here the astrology is mapping out, where he's at, the school. So we can't deny it. I mean, something's going on here, guys. Something's happening. The Hollows Court, any of these woods back here, this pond right here, I would be checking right here. There's a pond right there. I would check that. Right here is water source. Because the astrology seems to think that he's in water. Or near water. He's either in water or near water. So there's some water source here. I would check that out. Whoever is searching for Sebastian, that's a hot spot. Because the astrology says so. Actually, that little pond looks like a penis. Looks like a little pee-pee. Little shout out to Tony, TikTok Tony. The pond looks like a penis. Look at it. Doesn't it look like a penis? I wonder if they made it look like a penis on purpose. Anyway, I would search that area. TikTok Tony flashing us with his pee-pee. Yeah, so long hollow pike. This area here has another water source right here. I'd be interested in it as well. Because it's really close to the killer. The line that rules the killer. And the line that rules, you know, the teenager. A teenager. I think it takes me all the way out to Red Creek. Red Creek is another one I'm interested in. Long Hollow Pike, I'm interested in. Vladimir, I'm interested in. Because it's taking me to the mile markers and where the planets are mapping. Upper Station Camp Creek Road. Kind of right there. Goes in it. If this is a creek, I would be checking that creek. Hell yeah. I'd be all up in this creek right here. Guys, for sure. This water source here. Because it's right on my mile marker and the line that rules the killer. If that's a water source, I'd check that too. I think that's a water source. Right here. This looks like a water source. And if there's any cell phone pings or anything like that that law enforcement has, and like, you know, let's say law enforcement was like, hey, their phone did ping over here, or hey, we do have conversations with them in the past and they were in this area. Where does Chris Proudfoot hunt? If he's hunting in any of these areas and it maps it out on the map, then we should be looking in those areas as well. I'd really like to know where that son of a bitch hunts. No offense, Chris Proudfoot, but I'd like to know where you hunt. And if it's on our map, then that tells you something, right? And I am very curious in that part of the map on Drake's Creek, because the life force and the body is right in there. All through here. This whole area here, I'm very interested in. Right on that line. Because this line rules the victim. And look at that. I have 3 planets. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. Like all this in between these 2 mile markers, I would love to be able to have someone search. Seriously. Oh, it's not letting you like... Well, maybe because it's still live. So the AC line rules the victim and Saturn rules the body. So I am interested in anything along here. Down in here. Guys, I mean, even down in here. I'm probably going to have to come back in and clean up these lines and make them better. But I got the gist of it in. Anything on in here as well? Like, does the Cumberland River go over here at all? On any of these lines here, any water source here. Going near Whitehall. all the way up into White House. Look how close it goes up to White House. Very interested in that area. And I think that's where his old school was. So if I followed the AC line out all the way here, look at the AC line. It's going to take me right to where his old school was. And this is this child's life right here. I mean, it's mapping out this boy's life. His old school, his new school. And it just makes me want to cry, you know? It's mapping out his life. His little life. His little tiny life. We've mapped it out. It's so sad. His school is mapped out. Just his life in general, you know? I'm on terrain. I'm on hybrid terrain. Let me see. I can try to do it like this. Shows me some creeks. Doesn't give me the name of them though. That sucks. Just shows me like streets on terrain. I try to do hybrid because it really gives more details and it gives like the name of the streets. See, and this little source of water didn't show up on terrain, but this source of water shows up on satellite, hybrid satellite. My little penis lake. Even this area here I'd be interested in because it's really near this line. There's another pond. Really want to know where Chris Proudfoot goes hunting. Like all through here. Look at that. And Red Creek goes really close to, I think Red Creek turns into, I'm not sure, but it might turn into the Drake's Creek. Long Hollow Pike, anything along Long Hollow Pike through here, through here. These ponds here, because it's close to the mile marker. Right in here, I'd be interested in. Oak Hill Court, and then there's 2 ponds here. This pond here, I think that belongs to some private property though. This pond here, yeah, see, look at that. That's on the moon line. I'm interested in that. Let me show you, hold on. And then we'll go, because I know it's Father's Day. That little pond right there, I'm interested in. Because it's really close to our line. This pond here is close to our line. I believe this is like that shopping center that they were in, near. Well, I mean, Saturn in Pisces can be weighted down with a rock. Yes. Rope and rock. Absolutely. Yes, he can. My spirit seemed to think it was a bag. and that they might have put concrete in it to make it heavy. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what the spirit box section said. I cannot prove if that's true or not, but you know. So this whole area here that's all water, the lines go through, guys. All this marshy land. This whole pie section I'd be interested in. If he's in the water, the line goes into the water. So Cumberland Shores Drive, Harbor Court, I mean, it takes me into the water. There's water over here too. There's a lot of water. So, and the moon is important, okay? The moon is really important. Sanders Ferry Road. It's right out near the water. Sanders Ferry. Takes me right out to the water. Do you see that? Sanders Ferry Road. Yeah, it shows, you know, with that Virgo ruling the one house there, that shows sickness to his stomach. I would not doubt if he got sick to his stomach, or if he was given drugs, he got sick. His stomach. So this is all Sanders Ferry Road, and the line goes right through it, guys. This bridge right here, I'd be on that bitch right there. This bridge here, looks like this is a bridge. This area here. Because highway bridges rules Aquarius. Highway bridges, railroad tracks, dams, rivers, lakes, ponds. It's all things that he would be in. Pisces rules water as well. So this bridge, Sanders Ferry Bridge, or whatever this is here, I'm interested in. Absolutely. Okay. And especially where my spirit said where the bank is and that church, 150 Godwin, they gave an address. Like, my spirits actually gave a freaking address. I cannot believe that. Behind a bank, behind Wells Fargo Bank, they said, in like where the wooded area is, near the water. So, not drug, I believe, but he was cut, or yeah, allegedly. Allegedly, Gemini says, allegedly. I think that he might have been not alive. I think that he was alive, but in not good condition when he left that house, which is why the dogs are not picking up on a scent that he was still alive. That's my own personal opinion. I'm not accusing the parents, but I think he was alive when he left that house. And that's why the scent is, there is things that I'm curious about over here on these lines as well. Absolutely. Anything on these lines. Right in through here. One, because the stepfather, would have had to go on in this direction to head towards Memphis or wherever he was working. So these lines out here, I'm curious about. And if there's a water or a dam nearby any of these roads, or these mile markers, I am very interested in. Now I know I have a asteroid that goes out here. I know I have an asteroid that follows Chris out here. I actually followed the husband line too, and it goes right out here. So I'll add all that later I don't want to keep you guys on Father's Day too late. All right, I love you all. Blessed be. Keep praying for Sebastian. Okay? And I'll add the asteroids. Then we're going to do the other 2 maps, and then we got to do Summer's map. Yeah, this is all alleged. I am not saying that this is factual evidence, okay? The maps, you know, there is some scientific research to this, all right? I mean, people find missing pets. People find horses. I mean, I can go all the way back to the 1600s, where there are charts just like this by William Lilly. I'll show you. This book right here, Christian Astrology, okay? This guy right here, William Lilly, from 1600s, okay? Christian Astrology. He has charts in here. It's written in Old English. And I don't understand. My pages are falling out. Like, I just bought this book. It's brand new, and my pages are falling out. But he has charts in here. He predicted the British fire. When literally England almost burned down, like London burned down, that's in here. I mean, these are charts that he did that, let me focus it. (1638), 1600s, okay? Why is it not focusing? There it is. So these are charts that I can pull up from the 1600s and verify his work, and it's, you know, it comes true. So astrology has been used. These maps that I'm doing right here is a form of ancient astrology, a form of horary astrology, and then criminal astrology is probably about 30, I think it's like about 30 years old. But it's still a form of horary astrology, where you're asking the universe what happened to a missing person. And this is where it all stems from this guy right here. And even farther back from William Lilly, from the 1600s, there's other astrologers that have maps just like this, that there's records of them. There's records of Hindu astrology with the same stories, right? Missing person, missing jewelry, missing ox, missing horse, and they find them. Okay? So it's a branch of that form of ancient astrology that I'm using. So, of course, it's all alleged, but these maps, there is some mathematical equations here. It's not, I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. I mean, I'm pulling it from a mathematical degree, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I pick my fingernails, see? I always pick. I have horrible fingernails because I have horrible ADD, and I pick my, I pick at my fingers. It's really weird. Or like chew on my fingers. It's a really bad habit. But it's part of having ADD. We're pickers. All right, everyone. Blessings to you all. Yeah. I mean, I believe I would take astrology over a psychic. That's just my own personal opinion. I would absolutely take astrology over a spirit box session, and I would absolutely take astrology over my tarot cards, because my tarot cards are based on astrology. Every pill that you swallow is based on astrology. Every herb that you eat or put into your body is based upon astrology. We wouldn't have medicine without the planets. We wouldn't have these herbs if we didn't understand how the planets work. And that's why the plant got its name, is because the ancient people, you know, they weren't just physicians, they were astrologers. Our ancient doctors were astrologers. It's why cayenne pepper is connected to Mars. It's hot, right? It's red, it's spicy. Certain plants are connected to Venus to bring balance into your body. So I mean, every pill that you swallow is connected to astrology. You might not realize that. And I think doctors do appreciate astrology. I have 2 doctors that I speak openly with about my medical conditions, because I have a pituitary tumor, and I have issues with my back, and I literally had a brain tumor that they shrunk. So, I have a lot of nerve damage in my face. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to show my face too much. I have shown my face. I've shown my face 3 times. But ever since I got my stalker, I really don't like to show my face anymore. But like, doctors know the Latin words for medicine, and they understand that it's all connected to the planets. They totally get it. They really do. So most doctors don't poo-poo it, but some doctors do. But I got lucky. I have 2 doctors that actually understand medical astrology to a degree. And they understand, like, my wording. So, it's good. All right, everyone. Blessed be. Please don't blow the other ass with those fingers. I know, right? I love you, Susie Q. You're so funny. Yep. So I didn't just pull this math out of my ass. It's actually a mathematical equation. We did it together. You guys saw me do the math. You saw me pull the degrees for each planet, and you saw me pull the degrees for each house and each sign. So each house has a degree, each astrology sign has a degree, and each planet has a degree, and we're adding them together, and then we put them in imperial coordinates, imperial directions, and we map them out. That's what we just did. All right. God bless you all. Take care now. Bless be. We'll be in touch soon.